when you think of television's most unforgettable mate, Granny. Daisy Moses from the Beverly Hillbillies instantly comes to mind, played with fiery spirit and unforgettable humor by Irene Ryan. Granny became a beloved icon of American TV. But behind the grey wig and sharp tongue was a woman whose real life was filled with struggle, resilience, and generosity. Today, we uncover the story of Irene Ryan, her lost home, her marriage, the tragic end she faced, and the remarkable legacy she left behind. This is the untold story of the woman behind Granny. Irene Ryan was born Irene Noblet on October 17, 1902, in El Paso, Texas. From a young age, she was drawn to the stage, determined to make it in show business. Irene was not afraid to bend the truth. She once lied about her age so she could start performing professionally at just 30. She dropped out of school early to chase her dream, embarking on a journey that would take her from small-town Texas to vaudeville stages across the country. Vaudeville was the heart of entertainment in the early 1900s, a world of variety acts, comedy sketches, and musical performances. Irene quickly found her footing as a comedian and singer. Her charm, wit, and sharp timing made her stand out among the many performers vying for attention. It was during this period that she met Tim Ryan, a fellow vaudeville performer who would become both her husband and professional partner. Together, Irene and Tim formed a comedic duo that found success touring the vaudeville circuit. Their partnership was a blend of humor and chemistry that audiences loved. They transitioned smoothly from stage to radio, appearing on popular programs that introduced them to wider audiences. Despite the challenges of show business, their act flourished, and for a time, they were inseparable both on and off stage. Irene and Tim Ryan married in 1922, beginning a partnership that lasted more than 2 decades. They became a well-known team in entertainment, appearing in short films and radio shows that capitalized on their quick wit and comedic timing. Their relationship was filled with the ups and downs typical of life in the spotlight: long tours, demanding schedules, and a constant pressure to remain relevant. Eventually, the couple divorced in the late 1940s, but their professional respect endured. They occasionally worked together, even after parting ways, highlighting the deep connection they shared through their craft. Yet, behind the scenes, Irene faced the harsh realities of being a female performer in a male-dominated industry, constantly fighting to be seen and taken seriously. Her dedication extended beyond personal success. During World War II, Irene Ryan was deeply committed to entertaining American soldiers overseas. She toured with the USO, performing countless shows to boost morale among troops. For her, entertaining wasn't just a job, it was a way to give back. This selfless spirit became a hallmark of her character both on and off stage. Despite a long and varied career, nothing prepared Irene Ryan for the role that would make her a household name. Granny Daisy Moses in the Beverly. When the show was in development in the early 1960s, Ryan had her eyes set on this feisty matriarch role, but landing the part was far from guaranteed. The show's creator, Paul Henning, initially relied on his casting agent to find the perfect Granny. The agent didn't think Irene was the right fit, believing she might not keep up with the grueling shooting schedule, but Irene wasn't willing to be overlooked. In a bold move, she called Paul Henning herself and challenged him, saying, "Look, Paul, do I have to go home and get my grey wig and shawl to convince you?" She argued that no one else could match her pace or understand the character's spirit like she could. Paul Henning later recalled Irene stopping by his office and confidently telling him a story about playing hillbillies in a theater in Arkansas. That story sealed the deal. He knew Irene had the authenticity, humor, and grit needed to bring Granny to life. When it came time for auditions, Irene's reading was so perfect that even her competition recognized her as the obvious choice. She secured the role that would define her career and bring laughter to millions. The Beverly Hillbillies debuted in 1962 and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The show followed the Clampett family, led by Jed Clampett, a simple countryman who struck oil and became a millionaire overnight. Moving to Beverly Hills brought comedic chaos as their down-to-earth ways clashed with high society. Irene Ryan's granny was the heart and soul of the show. A tough, no-nonsense grandmother who kept her family in check with a sharp tongue and a strong will. Although Irene was only 59 when the show began, the makeup department transformed her into a convincing, adding wrinkles, shadows, and the signature grey wig and costume that completed Granny's look. This transformation was so convincing that viewers believed Granny was genuinely much older. Within just weeks, the Beverly Hillbillies shot to #1 in the ratings, breaking records and even outpacing legendary shows like Bob Hope's. Irene Ryan's performance earned her 2 Emmy nominations, cementing her place in television history. Despite her on-screen success, Irene Ryan never felt completely secure in her job. In interviews, she confessed to always fearing she would be fired. This fear was born from decades of uncertainty in show business. From touring in vaudeville to adapting to the evolving entertainment landscape of radio, film, and television, Irene's career spanned over 50 years, and she never took her stability for granted. Even at the height of her fame, she showed up early on set and worked tirelessly, proving her dedication to her craft. Off-screen, Irene was quite different from Granny's sharp-edged persona. Friends and colleagues described her as warm and kind-hearted. Her life was far more modest than the lavish Beverly Hills mansion seen on TV. While Granny's home was a symbol of country charm and comedic exaggeration, Irene's real house was a humble, quiet place, one that has since fallen into disrepair and been largely forgotten. Yet her generosity remained evident throughout her life. She established the Irene Ryan Foundation, aimed at supporting aspiring actors and ensuring the next generation had opportunities to pursue their dreams. When she passed away in 1973, she left her entire fortune, over $1 million, to this foundation, a final act of kindness and dedication to the arts. Irene Ryan was much more than a television icon. She was a hard-working, resilient woman who fought for her place in show business, who gave back to her country and future performers, and who kept performing until the very end. Her portrayal of Granny Daisy Moses remains timeless. But her real story, the lost home, the partnership with Tim Ryan, the passion for live theater, and the generous legacy she left behind is just as unforgettable.